Hello, once again, welcome to my home. Hope you're all staying safe from COVID 13. Sorry, COVID 19. Uh, I'm going to kind of throw away the script now and just do what DHB was meant to do, which is keep the memory of Warrel Dane alive. So, I'm going to tell you a couple of strange stories about Warrel tonight. First one, I call the Grinch that stole chestnuts. It's strange. So we were living in Seattle on Queen Anne Hill when Nevermore started out. That was the time where we actually owned a restaurant at the bottom of the hill. And on our daily ride, there was a row of chestnut trees we drive by. And these little, there was a Laotian community there, and these little old ladies were out gathering chestnuts, throwing sticks in the air to hit the nuts out of the tree. Well, one night, early in the morning, actually 5 a.m., Warrell comes into the my room and wakes me up and says, "Come on, get up, get up." And I'm looking at him like, "What? What's going on?" He goes, "Did you hear that?" I go, "Yeah, there was a big windstorm last night." So he says, "Yep, follow me." And we jump in his car and we go down to where these chestnut trees were. And the wind had knocked them all out. I mean, we gathered like two grocery bags full of them and then went back home. And I went to sleep. And 4 or 5 hours later, he wakes me up. "Come on, let's go." And I'm thinking, what are we doing now? Come on, Worrell. We get in his car and we drive by the row of chestnut trees. And these ladies were just confused. They're standing there with their bags and their sticks and they're looking around. They don't see one chestnut. And Worrell gives me one of the bags and says, on cue, "I want you to dump them out of the car window." So as we're driving by, we roll down the windows and chestnuts just danced across the street. And these ladies went crazy. It was like a riot for the chestnuts. Worrell stops the car and looks back over his shoulder and smiles. So that just gives you a little insight to how his mind worked. He was constantly playing pranks on me. Well, later in Nevermore's career, we did the album "This Godless Endeavor," and we went to Derbyshire, England, where Andy Sneap owned a studio that was part of this big farm, I think, or a ranch. It was 14th century, and it had quite a bit of history. And one night, I heard chairs sliding around down on the wooden floor in the kitchen, little kitchen area. And the door opens, and Worrell comes out, and he goes, "Did you hear that?" And I was like, "Yeah, what's going on?" And immediately thought he was up to one of his pranks. So we started walking down the stairs, and we both witnessed this. A chair just kind of slid out, flew out from underneath the table, and just stopped in the middle of the kitchen area. And we're both just astonished. And we looked into a dark room that it was adjacent to it and heard a little girl laughing and giggling. So I just ran back to my room and wanted to forget about it. Uh, but the next day, we're at the kitchen table, and the owner of the farm, she had a girl uh, that would come in and clean with her, and they were in the kitchen area, and Worrell looked up and asked one of them, "Who's Lydia?" And the owner lady looked at him and said, "How do you know about Lydia?" And he said, "Well, it's a little girl ghost that came and visited me in my room, and I heard her moving chairs downstairs last night." And she went on to tell us the story about three generations of ladies named Lydia that owned the house. And it could have been a number of one of them. I mean, out of three of them, one of them, obviously. But anyway, on that record, you'll find this song called "The Psalm of Lydia." And that, as far as I can tell, is a true story. I felt the spirits there one night when the record company came and took everybody out to dinner, and I stayed behind because I was recording bass the next day. And as I'm doing my bass tracks, there was a light behind me, and I saw a shadow pass by. And I just stopped, and I could feel the energy, and I said, "Okay, I'm just trying to rehearse here, man. You know, just peaceful musician doing his thing." And then the shadow walked back by me and disappeared as if to say, uh, "That's cool. We'll leave you alone." But it's it's a strange feeling when you actually get connected to metaphysical stuff like that. And Warrel brought it out in that song, Psalm of Lydia. Uh, in an episode coming up, I'll discuss some of the activity that was going on during the writing of the Dreaming Neon Black album. But for now, uh, I'm just going to leave that one hanging. That's a really good story. So I got some questions here that I'm going to answer from some fans. Uh, this is to Demetrius. Can you give us the insight on Dreaming Neon Black credits? Actually, skip that question. I can't. How are you coping with Crohn's disease? Are you in remission? I have uh, the same thing. I know how hard it can be. Well, I'm fortunate. I had Crohn's disease as a child, and it followed me through most of my adult life. Had many surgeries, resection of my intestines, and the whole bloody mess. But Crohn's is an immune disease. It's an overactive immune system. So as I got older, my immune system slowed down, and the disease ended up just going away for me. Question from Garrett: who is your biggest inspiration as a painter? Well, I'm not sure I can call myself a painter yet. I'm still a novice, but really inspired by Salvador Dali. Incredible genius. Another question: who made you want to pick up the bass? A song, a record, an album, a player? Well, it was definitely Cliff Burton. Uh, Incredible bass player, didn't dominate tracks, but you always felt and heard him. When he passed away, it was a big loss to the music community and metal community as well. And another one is top albums of all time. I got a little list here. Ride the Lightning, of course. 2112, Paranoid by Black Sabbath. And after I heard Paranoid and was a big Black Sabbath fan, it kind of seemed to just, metal kind of went to sleep for a while. And the reason Ride the Lightning is my favorite album is because I felt that album really reinstated the kind of music I love to listen to. And another question is First Nevermore Sanctuary Show Memories. Well, Nevermore I can remember fairly well. It wasn't that long ago, but me, Jeff, Van, and Warrel played as a three-piece. I'm sorry, a four-piece. We just had one guitar player at the time. And our first show was at the Mural Amphitheater at the Seattle Center. It's a big deal to play there. Only thing we had to do was follow the rule of no swearing, which Warrel immediately broke. But we had a great night, great show. It was a lot of fun. So those are the questions for now. Please keep submitting them. This project that DHB is doing called The Season of Decay is constantly under construction. I'm releasing these 3 parts as kind of rough drafts of the final thing to come. Part 1, The Weight of the Tear, you already have. this month, very soon, as a matter of fact, part two, The Formless Man, will be released. And after part three's release, I'm thinking of a target date of December 13th, which was the day Warrel passed away, to put all of this together. It'll be a final, finished 3 CDs and a coffee table book with all the artwork and stories in it. So, as far as this constantly being under construction, you can kind of hear it in some of the songs. Two of my favorite songs, The Weight of a Tear and A Truth is Lost, the solo sections are empty. I plan to have those filled, and I also mentioned in the past that I'm sincerely looking for people that want to contribute something. If you're a young guitar player or musician and would like to take a shot at the solo sections, feel free, send them to my website. I'll listen to them and contact you if I feel they belong on the record. I would like to say goodbye at this point. Please go to my website, www.jamesdhbshepard.com. Support the arts. You can find all my paintings and music there. I plan soon to have t-shirts for sale as well. I'll keep everybody informed here on Friday nights. And last but not least, I would like to thank my beautiful wife, Priscilla, for pulling me out of a dark place and showing me potential that we have here together. I hope you guys find the songs, paintings, and story enjoyable. And peace out till next time.